We are Better Engineering and proud to make it in Maryland.
Hello, and welcome to our latest episode of Make It in Maryland Manufacturer Spotlight Series. Today, I am really excited for the opportunity to talk to my friends at Better Engineering. They're a fantastic company up in Harford County that is doing some great things, and we look forward to a really good conversation with them to learn a little bit more about the organization and see where they're going into the future. With that, I'll turn it to my friends at Better Engineering to introduce yourselves. Lyndsey, would you like to go first?
Absolutely. My name is Lyndsey Peter. I am the Sales Development Manager at Better Engineering.
Jeremy, how about you?
I'm Jeremy Salkin. I am the Director of Operations here at Better Engineering. I used to direct the engineering department for a number of years and design machine years as well, so more on the technical side of things.
And Ryan.
My name is Ryan Hiss, and I manage the sales and marketing departments for Better Engineering.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, guys, for joining us. And as you guys know, this Spotlight Series is really meant as a way to highlight different companies around the state of Maryland. So with that, can you guys just tell me and our audience a little bit about Better Engineering? Who are you? What do you do?
Sure, I can start with that. I'll give you a quick synopsis on who Better Engineering is and how we got started. The company was started by my grandfather, Bill Hiss, in 1960. He was a World War II vet. He fought in the Pacific Theater, and after that, he moved to Maryland and started a number of transmission repair shops. It was during that time that he invented a machine named the torque converter flusher, and that was really the genesis of Better Engineering. It was a patented machine. We sold a ton of them up until about the 1990s. My dad started with the company. He's the current acting president. He started with Better Engineering in the early 1980s, and he was the one that started developing automated parts washing systems. So systems like our small turntable washers. And from there, we've grown into who we are today. We build a really wide array of machinery, everything from turntable washers to conveyor washers to custom systems. And back here, in terms of, and we built custom systems and for a wide array of industries like aerospace, automotive, food, pharma, and beverage, and a lot of the major automotive OEMs.
Excellent. So help me out here. And I've had the fortune of being in your all's facility, and it's always interesting, and I find it fascinating of some of the things that do. But for our audience that might not know, when you say parts washers, are we talking like a dishwasher size piece of equipment or a car wash size piece of equipment or everything in between?
We're all over the place size-wise.
Yeah.
So we build small machines, usually for automotive rebuild purposes. Then we build huge machines for things like the bodies of spacecraft. So everything up to big, huge 60-foot long conveyors and 30-foot tall machines. So we're sort of all over the place, just as all over the place we are with the industries, we are with our designs and our machine sizes.
And how long does it take to build one of these machines, to go from design to having the machine actually installed and in use at the customer site? How long is that process?
Our usual lead times are anything from 10, 11 weeks for really small machines, simple ones, up to 20 weeks or so for really large machines. And that's everything from reviewing the orders to going through full custom engineering design, getting a lot of custom parts designed and ordered, and then the huge assembly process, testing process, and validation processes with our clients.
Jeremy, that's pretty awesome. And what you just described seems like it's a lot of different skill sets and different experiences. What types of employees do you all have working? What are the skill sets that you guys need and you guys use at Better Engineering?
I'll tackle the stuff from the time that Lyndsey and Ryan hand me an order to the time it gets out the door. That's my specialty. So we do have a large engineering team that the order gets handed to. These folks are mechanical or electrical engineers, and they're doing the actual machine design. Then they hand their design off to purchasing, and we have a purchasing team that buys all of the components necessary for these machines. They've got the hardest job right now because of the supply chain challenges that we've had for a while now. Once all the parts come in, we've got a receiving team that receives them and picks them. And then our biggest team by far is our assemblers and fabricators. So they'll assemble all these parts, manufacture custom parts, which is actually a capability that we've upped a huge amount in the past year. Then we've got a testing team that goes and basically tries to break the machines and make sure that they can't before we have customers in here to validate that they do everything that they need. So that's the full operations team. And then Ryan and Lyndsey can explain a little bit more about the other facets.
Yeah, so on the sales side, we rely on Lyndsey's team, the sales development reps, to generate net new opportunities. Our marketing team, we obviously rely on them for our branding and getting the word out there of what we do and targeting the correct audience. And then we've got a number of regional sales managers in the field that are out there to close business and generate revenue.
Excellent. Lyndsey, anything we missed on that?
No, I mean, they pretty much covered it. I think my department's actually fairly new. The sales development rep team, we've in the past really been really dependent on inbound leads. So now we're actually seeking, prospecting new accounts who we think would definitely benefit from one of our washers. There's tons of companies out there who you're finding out are doing manual washing. So trying to get in there, showing how automating that process would really benefit them.
Excellent. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Ryan, when you were introducing the business, you mentioned it's a business that was created by Granddad, and Dad was involved. And I know we've got some siblings involved and probably some uncles and aunts and cousins. For me, it's always fascinating because it really gets to the nature of what a lot of Maryland manufacturing is, which is family-owned businesses that are now second, third, fourth generation. What's that been like for you all growing up in the family-owned business?
So yeah, we span 3 generations. It was really cool to see the Better Engineering grow throughout the years. When I first started with the company 10 years ago, we were in a facility that was about 30,000 square feet. And we recently just purchased a new facility in Joppa that's roughly 90,000 square feet. So it's been really cool to see us grow from a footprint perspective, but also the types of machines we build. Jeremy kind of touched on that. We started out building just smaller units, and now we're building much larger custom systems for companies in the space industry, aerospace industry, the automotive industry. So it's been cool to see the company grow and evolve over the years.
And I'll just piggyback off that. So I will say Ryan and I are actually brother and sister. I don't think we said that. But it's just been a really great, I joined the company about 5 years ago. One, to work with my brother, my father, has just been amazing. Just learning from each other, growing as leaders. So, we are really excited for the future, and also having Jeremy on our team. We really have, I feel like our vision is really aligned for the future of BE.
So before we jump into the future, talk to me a little bit about Ryan, you said you guys have seen the change and you've seen the growth and you're in the brand new facility, but how else has the business changed? Lyndsey, I know you said your business unit is a brand new business unit, right? So what are you all seeing in the industry, or what are you all seeing in manufacturing that has changed from maybe when Dad or Granddad ran the business?
Well, I think specifically you're starting to see parts washing just become more prevalent. Companies need to put out more quality items, or maybe they have longer extended warranties. Like for instance, Hyundai, they've got a 10-year warranty on their cars. So in order to meet those expectations or customer expectations, they got to get parts really, really clean. So we're starting to see parts washing become more prevalent in manufacturing. I think that's one of the major changes that we've seen. And then additionally, we're starting to broaden the type of industries that we're touching. Food, pharma, and beverage is starting to get more and more common. We're starting to get more interest from those from those industries, namely because of FSMA, the Food Safety and Modernization Act. So a lot of these food processors and people within those industries, they're having to clean and sanitize their parts more frequently. And before they were doing a lot of this manually, and still, I guess, from what I understand, 50% of food processors are still cleaning manually. So those companies are moving to more automated washing systems to cut down on labor, to give more repeatable results, to cut down on the use of water and chemistry. So we're starting to see washing become more prevalent across a lot of different industries, not just the industrial, but also the food and pharma and beverage sectors as well.
So Ryan, I think you must have had a sneak peek into one of the previous podcasts we did where we looked at the data and the sectors in Maryland, because the three largest and emerging sectors in Maryland from the manufacturing standpoint are the aerospace, the food and beverage, and the life sciences, the biopharma. It sounds like you guys are pretty well positioned to take advantage of that. Jeremy, you get to live this and handle this on a day-to-day basis, the operations. What are you all doing to continue to adapt and meet those changes?
So we make sure that we've always got a really, really well-staffed engineering department. That's one of the biggest things that we can do is when Ryan and Lyndsey see these changes in the industry and see these needs that we need to meet, we need to make sure that we can design all of the machinery to meet those needs. So like the food, pharma, beverage, all that stuff we just mentioned, that was an R&D process for us at one point where we recognized that need in the industry, and we designed a bunch of machines to meet those needs, and we formed a committee with folks in those sectors and really understood their needs and designed the machinery to meet them. So that's the biggest thing that we do to make sure that we stay on the cutting edge, is really this R&D type engineering focus.
And how about from a production standpoint? Like I said, I know you all have a brand new facility and you were able to build that from the ground up, which is really nice. What is Better Engineering doing to look at ways to automate your own processes and combat with things like the rising cost of labor or the difficulty of finding quality labor, right? What are you all doing to bring technology into your own production lines?
I've spent more on infrastructure this year than probably the last 15 years combined. I was actually talking to our production manager about that the other day. So that was everything from the little things like custom hold down clamps that make the things we do repeatedly in our machine shop much, much easier and safer. Some new machinery in our machine shop that just makes our processes flow a lot smoother and avoids lines at our saw, for example. Really simple things over there that actually came out of a lot of lean thinking that you guys helped us with last year, and we developed a big list of all these great things that we can change to eliminate waste. The one huge thing that we've done in the past year is start a full-scale sheet metal manufacturing area, something that we really needed to do for many years, but haven't had the space to do so until we were in this facility. So that's the biggest upgrade in automation that we've done for our own manufacturing processes, is that the folks that we were working with to start this shop up have called our shop the most cutting edge shop that exists, at least as of January this year. I'm sure, as technology moves really quickly, things get old quick, but we did put in the latest and greatest when we started the sheet metal shop up. So all of the latest and greatest softwares that drive these machines and tools to do this metal work.
Ryan or Lyndsey, anything to add to that from the business side?
Ryan.
From the business side, yeah, we were implementing a new CRM. It doesn't have a whole lot to do with automating the production side, but that's going to be a really big step forward for us. Lyndsey's integrated a lot of sales enablement tools to help her role in terms of reaching out to companies that might be interested in our product. But from an automation standpoint, from the sales side, those are the types of tools that we're integrating right now.
The CRM did remind me, we went on to a new version of our ERP system this year as well, which MEP helped us with as well. That was extremely helpful, especially bringing some customizations into the latest and greatest version of the software.
Awesome. So new facility, the business is growing, new production lines, you guys are automating. It seems like the future is pretty bright for better engineering. What do you all foresee for better engineering over the next 5 years? What are you doing to fill that sales pipeline? What's next? What's on the horizon for better engineering?
So from a sales perspective, we're working really hard on improving our marketing department. That could be from an SEO perspective, paid search, trade shows. So we're working really hard on the marketing side. On the sales side, Lyndsey's team, it's a new team, but they're going to be critical to generating net new opportunities and really getting our name out there. And then, of course, our regional sales managers, they're awesome. They hit the street all the time to go see our biggest customers and help, continue fostering those relationships. But yeah, so on the sales side, it's really just keep improving on marketing, keep growing Lyndsey's team, the outbound team. And then, of course, you got to have great regional sales managers that are out there hitting the street and staying in contact with their biggest customers.
And then another piece too, just to mention, is also just creating that brand awareness. We've been around for 60 years, and if I feel like people really don't know us yet still in Maryland. So it's kind of getting our name out there. I'm getting involved with Maryland MEP. And just start having people, know who better engineering is. So I think that's super exciting.
I think the future for us in manufacturing, other than the infrastructure stuff I just mentioned, is going to be training. That's the key word for me for the end of this year and moving into next year, is getting all of our training protocols and sort of certifications lined up, because it's something that's just been institutional knowledge for such a long time. And I really want to get all of that codified and get a really easy way for information to get from one very experienced person's head out there in production to newer folks. Because as we do grow and we bring on new production employees and they're doing all of these specialized fabrication techniques and assembly techniques, we build custom machinery. It's not easy. We're not just having somebody, put together some little widget. These are big, complicated machines. So having these guys trained properly and consistently is just going to go a really, really long way to making sure that we continue to build quality machinery and keep having repeat customers.
So Jeremy, you just hit on training probably half a dozen times in that comment. And I think that's really important, but you also hit on something that manufacturers all across the state of Maryland and really all across the US are facing, which is they call it the great silver wave, right? It's the retiring of the guys and the girls with the knowledge, with that tribal knowledge, with the skill set of doing this for so long. How are you all as a company capturing that knowledge? And then what are you doing to share that with that next generation of manufacturing worker?
That's a really interesting question. Our situation is a little bit different, I think. So we actually have a pretty young workforce, especially in engineering and production. Our problem is a little bit different. It's less folks retiring and more, how do you retain the younger people whose attention it's harder to keep and who want to make sure they have upward mobility in the company that they're in. So we're actually a little bit more focused on retention rather than the knowledge transfer. But when we do retain these people, you end up back in the same spot either way. You do need to transfer that knowledge, whether it's the very experienced older folks moving out of the company or younger people moving in. It's kind of two sides of the same coin.
Lyndsey, I'm going to throw it to you because I know you and I have talked about this a lot, and
Yes.
and you mentioned the brand and the awareness of better engineering. What can we do to get that next generation of worker excited about manufacturing, excited about coming to work at a company like Better Engineering that's doing really cool and creative things in an environment that doesn't look like a manufacturing environment?
Yeah, great question. So one, I think it's just starting to just get our name out there, going to schools, bring people to better engineering. I think that's going to be our next step, is doing just tours of our facility. We're also going to be kind of focusing on doing more videos of showing like just what the careers look like at BE and giving people kind of that look inside of who we are. But I'm just trying to think, getting more excited. Like, I think for me, it's just going out there. Me personally, mom's in manufacturing. I'm a mom. Trying to bring more women into the manufacturing would be amazing. So I feel like that's where like I could really speak to, is that I'm a mother. I have to try to, balance working here. I'm also in school and I have kiddos. So, but my passion for this company and just manufacturing in general, hopefully will help kind of get that brand awareness out there.
Yeah, and I can piggyback on that. I think that the younger generation, they view manufacturing maybe as like antiquated or like not as sexy as some of the other industries out there like SaaS, but we're doing some really cool things. I mean, we're touching some really innovative companies like in the space industry, the vertical farming industry, the EV industry. People often come to us during like the R&D stages of their companies that where they're trying to vet new processes. So we're seeing some of the most innovative and cool companies out there as they're beginning to grow their business. So we're there like at the inception. And so we really want to kind of change that perspective that manufacturing isn't cool or sexy. We're working with some of the most technologically advanced companies out there at the moment.
Excellent. So kind of talking about that, or to that, for each of you, I guess, what is something that you would like people to know about Better Engineering, whether it be your products or your customers, or what it's like to work there? What is something that we should know about Better Engineering?
For me, it's related to what Ryan was just talking about. The really exciting thing about being here, and the thing that I always tell people about, is how many different industries we're in. And it's something different every day. It's not working for your Black & Deckers of the world. And, maybe you're on a team, you're making a Sawzall blade, and you're focused on Sawzall blades forever. No, this is every day, something different, something interesting, a huge variety of customers. And you get to see just amazing clients that we work with and their processes for manufacturing. And it's just extremely interesting. I mean, if you look around you right now, you will see something around you that went through one of our pieces of machinery. I'm right here on my desk. I've got a water bottle, right? And that probably went through one of our machines. We've worked with these clients that have coatings for water bottles and aluminum cans and just all sorts of things. So it's really neat to see all these different industries and how we can look around every day and see stuff that we've touched.
Okay, yeah, I just want to second that. I kind of just touched on that when I was answering the question earlier, but like for instance, space, right? You go down to Cape Canaveral and you walk into one of these facilities and you'll see our wash systems in there, washing jet engine components, literally section of the spacecraft. You walk into I can't name names. You walk into an aerospace company and we're washing the most critical elements of those jet engines. You walk into a vertical farming facility and we're washing the grow towers. So again, we do touch like such a wide array of industries, and a lot of these companies are at the forefront of manufacturing.
And I just have, I guess, my perspective on is that the love for this family business. I feel like I have such a passion for this company. And I think that's what really excites me every day is, one, how can, looking at the human part and looking at the resources part, like how can I add value in different ways? Really appreciating our employees and making sure they're taken care of. And then also just touching on the resource side, right? Providing those training, making sure we show upward growth. making sure they can actually grow with the company. So that's what excites me every day is coming here and working with my family and just seeing the company grow every day.
That is so cool. That's really good. And I almost want to finish on that, but I'm going to ask one more question for each of you. Either what is the coolest project you've worked on? And Ryan, you just ran off like 6 of them that I thought were pretty awesome. But either what is the coolest project you've worked on, or what is something that you're most proud of that you've accomplished in your time at Better Engineering?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So I'll list an example that's different than a bunch of the ones that Ryan just listed. And it's a little old school as compared to all of the things that he just listed. But we built this amazing system for railroad wheel sets. So this is just the axle and the wheels of the standard trains you see on train tracks. And it sounds really mundane, but like I got to go see this facility, and it's the biggest railroad manufacturer or remanufacturer in the US. And we just had this really great relationship with them and built this amazing, totally custom machine for them that was nothing like anything we built before. And it was really challenging and really rewarding. And just, again, seeing, I go by a train, I see their logo on the side, and I go, you know what, we cleaned that. We make that happen and gave them the ability to ship goods across the United States.
Very cool.
For me, I would say it's diversifying our customer base, and I've rattled off a bunch of different industries that we tap into. But for us, that really hedges risk as the company or as the economy evolves and changes over time. It's always going to ebb and flow. It's going to go up and down. But if we're well diversified enough, if industrial goes down, aerospace goes down like it did during COVID, well then the food, pharma, and beverage industries will help compensate for that. So having a well-diversified customer base really bodes well for us as the economy changes.
And for me, it's just growing the sales development team. You don't really hear of the SDR team in manufacturing. It's more in IT. So it's trying, how do you get hold of those prospects and then show the value and the return on investment if they move forward with purchasing a washing and sanitizing washer. So we now have a couple pretty big projects in the pipeline that hopefully are going to be closing. So that just things like that really get me motivated. And like Ryan said, just keep diversifying our customer pool.
Excellent. Well, just to wrap it up, Lyndsey, Ryan, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us for this discussion on the Manufacturing Spotlight Series. I think Better Engineering is not only a great company, but I think it's a great example of what Maryland manufacturing is, right? We're innovative, we're problem solvers, and I think you all are living a great example of that. And the fact that it's a 3rd generation company that continues to iterate and evolve and improve on what you guys doing. It's been fun getting to know you all, and I'm looking forward to watching the company continue to grow and change and evolve.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
Well, we appreciate the time. Thanks
All right.
so much,
Yes.
Michael.
Take care, Mike. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Thank you.